From Lusaka, this is my house, the most important TV show in Zambia. I am Jackson Dimas Piri. On Thursday, 11th of May, we woke up to some unpleasant speculations that the Zambia Police Command directed the immediate withdrawal of all police officers attached to former President Edgar Lungu's residence. So most of you must have seen the news from the PF presidential hopeful, Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba, when he actually visited the residence of the former president in Ibex Hill that Wednesday evening. In case you missed it, here you go.
There are sessions going around that under the former President's Benefits Act, the president is only entitled to 3 police officers now. These are matters we'll discuss later. What we can confirm is that this is a coordinated attack on the former president. And why withdraw police officers without coming to discuss with the owner of the office? Former President Edgar Lungu, if there is any courtesies, the Secretary to Cabinet should come here. He's the one that regulates and runs this office.
So the same evening, Home Affairs Minister Honorable Jack Mwimbu told Diamond TV that the former president Edgar Lungu is still attached with police officers entitled to him. Also, the police spokesperson the following day, on a Thursday actually, also said that the state only removed excess manpower and that the officers in question have been deployed to perform other police duties somewhere else. In case you missed it, here's the story.
Those officers we have withdrawn, we had called them last year. We had recalled them last year so that we deploy them to other police duties. But because of our own reasons, we had left them there until now. So that message that you saw, it leaked to the public, but it's true. It's our message. People have misunderstood it, but it's our message. We have just withdrawn excess manpower.
Meanwhile, SACCOD Executive Director, Mr. Boniface Chembe, said the withdrawal is ill-timed, considering the police raids last week on Wednesday at ECL's house.
What we want to say from SACCOD on this issue is that equally we need to ensure that mutual respect prevails in this country. The Zambia Police Service deserves respect from members of the public or indeed any political party, just like members of the public deserve respect from the Zambia Police Service. Going forward, we would want to recommend that there is need for the Zambia Police Service to be able to sit down with opposition political parties so that the issue of mutual respect is made clear and we avoid a kind of situation whereby people feel disrespected.
Now, if you have been following Justice Minister, Honorable Mlambo Haimbe, he has actually been quoted saying former President Edgar Lungu shouldn't be enjoying his benefits since he declared that he's still in active politics. Now, with that background, today I want us to address the threatening of our former presidents with withdrawal of their benefits when they engage in active politics. So I say presidents, not ECL or just one person, but like all of them. Because I've seen it happen to KK, I've seen it happen to RB, and now ECL. First of all, let's agree that Zambia's democracy is still growing, still like in our infant, right? We're still copying, we're still seeing what others are doing. So as such, we have progressive democracies that we look up to and also emulate. I'll give you an example, like maybe the one in the United Kingdom, also the US of A. But if you really pay attention to those same democracies that we look up to, you may have seen where presidents or former presidents like Barack Obama, for instance, coming out in full swing to campaign for the Democratic candidate. But then Joe Biden, who is now president, he actually went on to win the election.
Who see you, who care about you.
And when you bring it to Africa, just in Liberia, we saw President Salif Johnson campaign for George Weah, who was not even a candidate for her political party, okay? Because she considered her own candidate, who had been her vice for some time, she considered him unfit to govern after her. So George Weah went on to win that presidential election.
It's a challenge. Despite her critics, Sirleaf is praised by many for her peaceful transition of political power. She's due to hand over power to George Weah and his running mate, Jewel Howard-Taylor, ex-wife of Charles Taylor, on January 22nd.
Now, all these examples only show us how behind we are as a democracy and how far we are actually willing to stay behind. To say that former presidents should no longer be entitled to their presidential pension and retirement benefits following their decisions to return to active politics is very retrogressive and we must do away with such things. It's law right now, yes, but we need to do away. Otherwise, whichever way it's done, it makes elected officials and those in power look very vindictive, even when they've done so much to unite the country, which doesn't look good at all. Okay, it takes us back. Like you do 10 steps and then you look like you do 10 steps forward and you look like you've done 25 steps going back. It comes out like the elected officials, maybe even the incumbent president and their regimes. It comes out like they use the law to whip or shush the former presidents. Like you can't say anything, go and sit in the corner. Like doesn't look well. Like if you say anything, this is what's going to happen to you. I'm seriously saying that we should consider changing the law. Let the people talk freely. If Joe Biden, in this scenario, I'm using Joe Biden as a presidential figure. If he is a damn good president over Trump, he will beat Trump to the ballot 1,000 times. You don't really need to shush Trump. You don't think so? Democracy is about competition of ideas, not about how many people you're going to silence. We've seen this happen, where we're coming from, either by law or by physical force. No, you bring your ideas and convince the people. That's all you need to do. Or if you're in the seat, just deliver. If you have read up on the benefits of the Former Presidents Act as amended by Act number 33 of 1994 and number 21 of 1998, you will gather that among the benefits our former presidents are entitled to by law include 3 security persons. Also, free accommodation, free house servants, even a secretary. Like there are a lot of things that they're entitled to. They're entitled to 3 vehicles and other things. Okay, you are able to read up and see the full list. These privileges are provided for by the laws of Zambia. Okay, there's things that as a country we decided upon. Therefore, they should be enjoyed without interference. Okay, and when I say without interference, I mean from people that are elected now, even from the sitting head of state. These are things that you will need to enjoy when when your term is done. So now, the point I'm trying to drive home is that these privileges, they are not a favor. Like in terms of ECL, these privileges are not a favor from HH. No. Okay? They are not. It's an entitlement provided for by the law. It happens to everyone when they leave the seat. Those are things that you need to find when you retire or when you leave office. Regardless of whether a particular person was popular or not at the time they were leaving office, that person becomes state property immediately that person is sworn in. So regardless of what happens in your term, you are state property. You're supposed to be taken care of afterwards. This is the reason our constitution recognizes the office of the former head of state. It's very, very important that the former heads of state remain government property and protected by government, because during the time when these people are still in office, you see how they gain access to everything about the nation, even all the secrets and everything. So a lack of proper security on our former head of state may expose us as a country to eternal danger. For instance, a lack of proper security may make maybe, for instance, in a hypothetical situation, they can make enemies of the state gain access to vital state secrets, for instance, which may actually endanger the security of the nation. Therefore, Zambia and Zambians, regardless of how you feel about any former head of state, it's not wise for the nation to ignore the value of the former head of state. The person or the people occupying those offices must be protected at all costs. So the stability of the country is actually also dependent on the former head of state as it is also, very dependent on the incumbent head of state. Further, a proper security system for the former head of state is actually key to ensuring that there is no things like state capture, okay? A president who rules with fear of his security in future may not act in the interest of the nation. Such a person may always work to give favors to those who he thinks will be able to provide him with some security when he leaves office. Like who's guaranteeing me the security when I leave office? So when I'm no longer head of state. So that should be something that we should think about, and it's just some common sense after all. It's not just illegal to compromise security for a person who once governed a country, but it is also morally upright. A country that never looks after its past leaders, it never develops. As a people, we need to develop a sense of gratitude for those who have served our nation. This is the only way we can cultivate a sense of national pride. Until next time, this has been my house. It's bye for now.